you explained the Pope Leo thing, I was like, okay, well, it looks like a lock, but it's only at 40%. Is there any reason for why, in terms of conviction, where the market is right now? Would you say that that is pretty good conviction? Like, would you say that in turn, I mean, you have again, you have like the whole kind of Catholic population, which is huge. You have a new name, a newly minted name, um,
Mhm.
but it's still very undervalued, and the year's almost over. So I'm wondering, like, what is the hesitation in this market right now? Like, what are people still looking for? Are they looking for something like, some big event to happen, or, curious as to your thoughts on that because
I'm shocked. Like,
looking at.
I'm a little bit shocked that Pope Leo is still only at 40%. One reason this could be is because, we actually talk about this in the new episode of the Three Markets Pod that's gonna drop tomorrow. But there's a little bit of a framing bias, I think, that traders can have, or that they might be aware of, where on a market like this, Google could put any person that they want at the top of this list. And the team at Polymarket has attempted to discern what are the names, that are kind of the most likely to be ones that are on that traders would want to trade around. But there's no option on the market at the moment for just like any other person. And sometimes you see this, sometimes they introduce it a little bit later, but it's possible, like a trader might look at the search volume or trends across, every single one of these names, and they might accurately ascertain which of these names had the most growth year over year from 2024 to 2025. But it could be the case that the Polymarket team didn't even offer the correct outcome markets, and that there's a name we're not even thinking of for some reason, which saw, tremendously more growth. So certainly there's a little bit of a discount, I think, for that possibility. If we instead look at the market for top 5 most searched people on Google, because remember the year in search kind of website report names kind of the 5, or actually the top 10, I think, person queries that grew in volume. Here you see the Pope trading at 86%. And it could be that this is in part to, because he might not be the number one, he might be the number 2, 3, 4, or 5. But in part, it could also be because, okay, now there's room for a name that's not given on the number one most search person market to be number one. But we are confident that he will be in there on that list. But yeah, it's a question of like, did the Polymarket team even select the exact right outcomes when building this market?
Yeah, and I think also just maybe it has something to do with the market being you have to read into the market a little bit. I mean, maybe, is this market exactly the same? Is it the same type of resolution outcome? Like,
It is the same resolution, yes. If they are ranked in the top 5 of Google's year in search people list for 2025. Yes. So even in this market though, I will say, just looking at it, like, I think Donald Trump is way too high, in my opinion. I don't know that Donald Trump will show up on this list at all, in my opinion. Just knowing that he has a really high baseline, I think there's still a mistake being made in this market by people who think that this is a measurement of raw search volume, or
yeah,
else you have to explain why he's getting, more queries. Remember, again, Pope Leo XIV did not exist really as a query in the year 2024. So when you're talking about year over year growth, you're starting at a baseline of almost zero. And so even if he's only searched, 1,000 times, it's like a divide by zero growth. It's not exactly, but the growth is huge. Zoran Mamdani, for instance, it was relatively unknown in 2024, and then got a ton of coverage, a ton of, I would guess, search volume in the year 2025 from a very, very low baseline. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Kendrick Lamar, Taylor Swift, these are people who I think have pretty consistent search volume, and it's much harder to show growth.